Hi everyone. I'm Claire Line and I manage the Acorn project in Monmouthshire. And I'll pass you over to Amanda to say hello as well.
Hi, I'm Amanda, sorry, and I'm the Acorn project parenting team leader for Monmouthshire.
So we're going to talk to you today about the work that Acorns does in Monmouthshire, an overview of what we do, and like Sue said, some insight into the work we're doing with families in by illustrating some parent stories and case studies, because I think that gives a really good flavour of what we do. So yeah, we will make a start.
Claire, there's just a little bar on the screen, and
oh
you
yeah,
might need to
I've got to hide that.
Cover some of the writing.
Is that gone?
Yes, it's gone.
Oh, thanks, Amanda.
That's okay.
Okay, so who are we? So we're Welsh Government, Families First grant funded service. So Monmouthshire's Families First commissioned us to provide parenting support to families in Monmouthshire. And we're currently supporting families with children sort of age 3 to 4 plus across Monmouthshire to improve their ability to support their children, their child's learning and development, improve family relationships, well-being and family resilience. And the reason we're sort of working with that age range at the moment is we've just had a lovely insight into all the good work that is being done in the first 1,000 days. We've also got an excellent Flying Start service across parts of Monmouthshire as well. And so we're looking at sort of following on from the important work that all the early years services already do, and sort of aiding that transition up through the age ranges as children get older. So yeah, 3 to 4 years plus we're focusing on at the moment, all the way up to 18. And we launched in 2014, and that's when Families First commissioned us. But prior to that, we were Monmouthshire Sure Start. So we've been in existence for quite a long while, constantly evolving. Okay, so the team. We have a team of parent advisors and a mobile childcare team who can support families. And we are currently delivering support in the following ways. So group support, whether that be face-to-face or virtually. So the last few years has enabled us to be able to support families in different ways. And one-to-one. So again, face-to-face, virtually, so via platforms like Zoom, Teams, and telephone support as well. And I think one good thing that has come out of the pandemic in terms of how we work with families is that we've become more flexible, and that families have been receptive in the different ways that we can support them. And some parents actually do prefer a telephone call or remote support, and some parents prefer face-to-face support. So I think that's really important that we can sort of cater for different families and their wants and needs, really.
I think
okay, so I'm going to pass it.
Sorry, Claire, just to add to that, with our working parents as well, that's helped us then be more flexible, so they can call us or we can book in calls on their lunch breaks, rather than having to say, well, we normally come face to face, but we can't kind of fit you in maybe. So that's really helped with kind of the flexibility for parents that are working as well. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay, Amanda, that's fine. Okay, so I'll pass you over to Amanda now, who's going to talk to you a little bit about the kind of programmes of support that we can offer families in Monmouthshire. So over to you, Amanda.
Thank you. I'm sure most of you will have heard of a lot of these programmes, but just to give you a kind of quick overview, as Acorn Project, we run the Incredible Years programme. As you can see, there's the 3 titles there. The basic programme is 3 to 8, and it runs for roughly about 12 weeks, but we try and fit our programmes within school term times. Obviously, it's not as easy to run programmes when children are around at home because of crash numbers and different things like that. So roughly around 12 weeks, and it covers different topics. Every week we kind of do a different topic, from play, praise, social and emotional coaching, rewards, household rules and routines, and kind of many, many more. The Incredible Years School Readiness Programme, we're kind of adapting that a little bit, and for us we're calling it getting ready for school. Parents recently have been able to kind of book online, so we're sharing that through Facebook as well as professionals, and that's been really positive. So it's a 4-week program, and we cover topics like language and social skills, managing emotions, word skills, interactive reading, and then lots of thinking around some of the practical skills that children might need that we don't always think about, like opening up school lunch boxes and being able to open the bottles at dinner time. Are they able to use a knife and fork? What are they like going to the toilet? Do they need support? Well, maybe we need to do a little bit more work around that. Getting dressed, because we all know, I'm sure you can imagine being in a classroom with 30 children at PE time, although I do believe PE time is a little bit different after COVID, but tights and trousers and socks and skirts, helping 30 children get dressed, so can be quite tricky. So helping our children to be able to manage some of those things a little bit more on their own. And then we've got the Incredible Years ASD and language delay program. Incredible Years do like parents to have done the basic program first, but we are very flexible within that, and obviously we're focusing on that language and communication for children that are possibly ASD diagnosed or going through that diagnosis, or have that language communication delay, and thinking about how we can help and support that communication between parent and child. So that's kind of a brief overview of the Incredible Years. Thanks, Claire. The Solihull programme is our programme that is 0 to 18, so covers a wide age range, and it's helping parents with that reflective thinking about containment, reciprocity and behaviour management, and kind of understanding emotions, and many other things. That runs for 10 weeks, yeah, it's another one of our programmes. The next one we deliver, which is in the more recent years, which I'm sure a lot of you already know about and have possibly trained in as well, is Circle of Security, which is our relationship attachment based program. This is 8 weeks long, and what's been really lovely about this program is it's worked really well online via Teams, and parents have really engaged quite well through COVID with this one on Teams, as well as now we're going back into working face to face. We've just started one on Monday in Chepstow, so yeah, really positive. Our next program is our teenage program, so 10 to 18 years, and it's thinking about kind of all those changes that teenagers are going through. This again runs for 10 weeks, but we have got extra resources that if need be we can make that a little bit longer, depending on the group and what the parents' needs are, but understanding kind of those changes through teenage years, and that some of the things that we might have done in the past with our younger children aren't necessarily going to change now. So how we can adapt and grow as parents as our children develop up into those teenage years. So that's our programs in a such, our structured programs. We offer, we're not awful, we're amazing. We also offer informal structured kind of engagement programs. So one of them is You and Your Family. We also offer a wellbeing course, thinking around that vicious circle and being stuck in that vicious circle, and the different strategies that we may be able to use to help us get out of that circle, to kind of change the way we're thinking. And we're also at the moment in the process of developing a program called See How They Learn, and this is in pilot at the moment, so we're actually running it in 4 schools across Monmouthshire, encouraging parents to understand all the learning and the development that our children are going through in those early years, so that reception sort of class, and helping parents to think about reading and writing, praise, listening, covering lots of different topics. But what's really lovely is we're working with the parents, and then we bring the children in from their class to experience and share some lovely activities with their parents before they go home. And so we're looking forward to keeping developing that course as well. Oh, sorry, before we go on, I think that is going to run for about 8 weeks, the See How They Learn course, but someone correct me if I'm wrong. Then we do some workshops, so some one-off workshops, teenage brain, so helping parents understand the teenage brain, sleep, And then I think we're looking at emotions and kind of listening and communication. So one-off programs that we can run if there's a need, or if maybe a school wants us to put something on to help with kind of a cohort of children that they've got in and parents. So there's sort of the unstructured, more informal engagement-y kind of groups that we can run. Then another large part of our work is the bespoke support. So working one-to-one with a parent or parents to cover a wide range of things. Some parents aren't comfortable coming to groups, or their needs might not be met by coming to a group. So we offer a bespoke package of care where we're thinking about what matters to that parent and putting things in place to support them. So it could be around sleep, nutrition, toileting, communication, many different things. And sometimes it's more than one thing, but we're encouraging them to kind of work through those things slowly and gradually with our support as we go through. So that's our work that we do on our kind of one-to-ones. Over to you, Claire.
Yeah, and this is just a quick plug really. We've been part of a pilot, 1+1 parenting resources. They were commissioned for a year, and we believe they're continuing, and it was to sort of pilot online digital resources for parents and getting parents to access these resources. And the resources are 3 courses. One's called Me, You and Baby 2, one's called Arguing Better, and one's called Getting It Right for Children, and you can see them on that table there. And basically parents can access them independently by going on that link at the bottom of the slide, and each local authority's got their own link who are signed up to doing it, and I believe most authorities in Wales have. So for example, Torfaen would be torfaen.opo, and the staff have done them, and they have been promoting them with parents and working with some parents to complete the relevant courses, and they've said they're really good online digital tools. And for professionals, there's a professional section as well. So just for you really, just a shout out to have a little look at the website and the resources, because it might be that these are quite useful for some of the clients that you're working with, especially Me, You and Baby 2, for that, the first 1,000 days and all that work, important work that we're doing in that area. Okay, so we're going to move on now to a little bit around impact and what parents are telling us after we've worked with them. Gives you a flavour really of the kind of work that we're doing and the impact that is having on families in Monmouthshire. So we'll just start by just putting up a little bit of parent feedback to begin with. I won't read through it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, interrupted you. We'll let you read through it, but this is actually, I believe, a family that I worked with quite recently during COVID. Mum didn't feel able to come to group. She was quite an anxious parent herself, but we worked through different strategies to help her children to be able to sleep better. Her daughter was quite anxious about leaving mum, and school was difficult. So we worked through some strategies to help with sleep, and as you can see, the outcomes are really good. And then understanding emotions and communication and listening to each other. Each week or fortnight, depending on mum's work commitments, we would have a telephone call and work through a plan of action and build on what was kind of happening with the home. So yeah, lovely to have a nice positive outcome, and as you can read, what the parent has put there is really good.
Well, thank you, Amanda.
That's okay.
And then this is an example, a piece of feedback that we had back from a parent who undertook the Solihull programme. So especially, it was really good that she felt that she could understand her child's emotional needs a little better, and that's one of the aims of the programme. So that's fab.
Absolutely.
Okay, go to the next slide. So this is an example for our feedback from our circular security programme. And then we got one there from our incredible years, and one piece of feedback there from somebody who did both incredible years and circular security.
So sometimes families come and they don't just do one program with us, so they might do some bespoke work and attend a program depending on what their needs are. Sometimes families start off as a one-to-one, and as they grow in confidence in themselves and we're working with them, they feel able to join a group then. So it's kind of meeting the needs.
Fab. Okay, so then we've got a piece that a parent wrote for us. And this one illustrates how we worked with a variety of agencies to support this family, mainly the school, and that we did sort of a joined up piece of work, held a family meeting to work out how best to support this family. The child wasn't attending school. Parents were struggling to get the child to school. So yeah, it just sort of illustrates that our intervention alongside support from the school resulted in a positive outcome.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Okay, and Amanda's going to talk about the next one because it's one of your families, isn't it, that you worked with?
It is indeed.
Over to you.
So I'm not going to read this out, but just you can read and hopefully listen to me at the same time. This is a family that I worked with for a little while. Mum felt parents felt things were going better. And then recently they felt that they needed some more support. So have contacted us. So I'm now working with the family again. But we worked through lots of different strategies. Mum didn't feel able to come to a group because she was grieving at the time when I first started working with the loss of a parent. So we worked through lots of strategies, putting in some actual practical things around routines and structure to help feel safe and secure, but also that emotional kind of learning and some help with self-regulation and getting parents to join in and do those things together. Since the family now have come back into us, the young chap is on the waiting list for a space ND assessment, and school kind of got a little bit tricky, so school and parents got in contact and asked for some support. So I'm now doing some one-to-one support around kind of that again, emotions and kind of finding some things a little bit more difficult than others. So parents sometimes finish and then are able to come back if they feel things are getting tricky again.
Lovely. And it's lovely to see on that one that at the point that they finished that intervention with this, that they were feeling much happier together as a family, which is really important. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. So this is, you might be able to read this very well, but Amanda will talk through it. This is a case study, again, one of family that Amanda worked with. So Amanda, do you want to give a brief overview of this family?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So this family came to me again during COVID. So it was phone calls that I did with the parent. And the young man had not really been able to use the toilet for his bowel movements. And one of Mum's biggest worries and fears when I first got involved was that he would be 18 years old and still not be able to use the toilet. So to actually have a bowel movement, he was using what Mum called a poo pad. She'd been referred to, so not quite a nappy, but she'd been referred to many different services and then discharged, and nothing ever seemed to be moving forward. So she was really quite her frustrated and just really worried and anxious about everything. So we took very, very slow steps and really small steps in working up towards the end result of what mattered for Mum and what mattered for this young man. He was 6 years old, and starting to kind of have that understanding of what was going on with his body and things like that. He was really quite frightened and anxious. So we worked around emotions through play, understanding different things, many different strategies, and I put together a bespoke package of care week by week. And as we went on, we would see things progressing and then things kind of going backwards a little bit. But recently, I think it was kind of at the beginning of this year, we started off with weekly phone calls, and as things were progressing, it went to fortnightly phone calls and then longer again. And recently, at the beginning of this year, I believe we closed with an extremely successful outcome, because this child is now able to actually use the toilet and confidently and feeling amazing about it, but not just in his home, but in other family members' homes and out in public. So if they go to a restaurant, they no longer have to leave. They can have lovely family experiences together, because they were, I suppose, the family felt like they were ruled and kind of stuck in a situation. But with lots of patience and understanding, we got this. So a really lovely case study, and a really great to be able to help this family through a really difficult time.
Thank you. Okay, and then I thought we'd put some feedback from a primary head teacher on here as well, so you could see the view of other professionals that see us working with families in their setting. And again, the importance of, working with these families, helping to break cycles, improving home life, which then hopefully has an impact then on school and education. So yeah, working with Acorn has had a positive experience for us, so that's fab to see that. So how do you refer into us? You can refer directly through the early years, a request for early years and parenting support form, which is embedded in this document, so we can get that sent out. That's if you know that you have a client or a parent that you think would be who would like to attend one of our programs or interventions. However, if you're seeing a family with children and you're not quite sure what services for them, or there's a wider piece of work to be done, you have the Space Wellbeing and Family Support Panel, which you can refer into as well. They have a separate referral form, but by referring into them, a lot of agencies sit around that table, so we can bring a lot of information to that panel, what's already happened for that family, what might help support them, and then work out which is the best service to contact that family to see who can support them. So we get a lot of referrals from Space Wellbeing and Family Support. But like I said, if it's a kind of straightforward, well, a parent is asked to attend an Incredible Years programme or a Solihull, you can refer directly to us. So I hope that doesn't confuse you, but there's sort of two referral pathways really to get to us. And then self-referrals, we also do encourage parents to self-refer to us. And we recently ran some Getting Ready for School courses, and we put an online registration form when we advertised it, so parents could just fill in that online registration form and book straight on a course. So for some parents who know they want to attend Incredible Years, they want to learn more about how to manage their children's behaviour or emotions, they might want to book onto one of our courses. So we're looking at doing an online registration form for all of our parenting programs starting in September. So we'll have that route as well. So what's next for us? We're going to continue to look at, integrating further with all the other services that are working in Monmouthshire. And we've already got really good close links with Flying Start, but looking to develop them further. So we've got smooth transition through the early years and beyond. We're going to continue our pilot for our See How They Learn family learning programme in school, and hopefully, the initial findings will be that it's really valuable and we'll be able to roll that out. So that's exciting. Further develop our link with schools, because we're seeing more and more referrals coming in from schools, and I just think we need to be working together to support these children. And we've already got good links, but we're going to try and develop those further, and then further develop our engagement and informal kind of support and networks. We've got all our evidence-based stuff going on, but we'd like to do more sort of engagement work really, and get those parents involved in our service. So there are our contact details, and we have a Facebook page, a parenting email address, and yeah, that's it from us. Thank you for listening.